Vlogadome video on free will. I listened to Gary talking to Professor Anton last night and thought, should I do a video to Gary and tell him not to get involved with people like this? Or should I do a video to Professor Anton saying where he's getting it wrong? I've avoided this for 3 years. And I thought, no, I'll do a FreeWill101 video, which is best, I think. Because if you get involved with a free will or even a willpower person, without them explaining to you first what they mean by willpower and who has it, then you get into a discussion, something along the lines of arguing with a God-botherer how it's possible that angels fly or something. It's really not best to get in there and argue the minutiae of these small points. It's much best to ask them the question, quite what foundation are you firing from here? And the simple question to ask is, I'll put it simply, very, very simple. I'll go with the ice cream thing to start with, but Professor Anton did a very clever one, and you could see how smug and pleased with himself he thought about it. No, so I'll use his example. A human being can choose to pay into a 401k all his life, and I'll have to make up the other option, as opposed to buying a brand new Ford muscle car for the rest of his life. So the implication is, and it always is when you ask them to explain this, and they never do, is that there is a them, there's a Professor Anton on his throne, and the courtiers come before him with the presentation salver of a 401k, my lord. We'll pay into it all our lives, short term. Each time it might be a bit of pain, but we'll soon get used to that. And in the end, we can retire and live in a library or play golf or whatever it might be. And on the other hand, there's this scruff that comes with an envelope and says, look, got this plan. Ford muscle car, right? We buy a brand new one now. And then in 2 years' time, when they bring a new one out, we jack in the old one and we get a brand new one. And it's in 2 more years' time when they come and we get a new one. And then for all of our life, we'll drive a Ford muscle car. Great, eh? Right? And then, so that is the way that all people that believe in will believe that it happens. I've spoken to so many that I know that's how they believe the structure of the thing is, that there is a them on the throne being presented with these presentations of A or B. And that is what needs explaining. The one, who makes the decision, and the two, from whence comes the presentation A and the presentation B. We've only got 3 things that need explaining. The one, the chooser, the 2, presentation 1, and 3, presentation 2. And they can't do it because it's ridiculous. Because I don't even need to, I won't have to go into it. That is all that needs explaining. And if they don't think that that is the structure of things, where they're on the throne and presentations are made before them, and they go, I shall take the 401k option. If it's not that they're thinking, it's up to them to explain what the scenario is that's going on in this egg-shaped thing. But that is what they are actually thinking. And horribly, that is what a judge is actually thinking in Texas when he says, you took the wrong decision. You were presented with the options. You, sitting on your throne, thug, on your throne, you had the option of saying, or the option presented to you of saying something like, well, I didn't really like the lawnmower anyway, or kill the fucking bastard, and you chose the wrong option. I am now going to end your life. It's that serious in life. The judge can't be asked to explain quite what he thinks about who is making this decision and from whence came these options that the big decision maker in the egg is going to make. Can't expect the judge to do it. We've got to do it on a very low level on YouTube or Vlogadome. So anybody that talks about willpower definitely has this idea that they are choosing between options. And the who are they is the trickiest question, probably, but maybe even equally tricky is from whence comes, or from where come these option people, these courtiers presenting options. The 401k option fellow, very sensible. You say, I'll go with that decision. Very sensible chappy. Good to have up in the egg. But from where came the idiot that wants, or the very good decision to have a brand new Ford muscle car for the rest of your life? Is he not part of the egg? And this is the problem, that they are obliged to explain that, yes, we understand that everything's happening in the egg, but I make a decision between choice A and choice B. There are three things happening in the egg. That we know. We know there's the egg, and you're saying there's a willpower choice being made between two options. So we have the chooser of the option, and we have the option A and option B. We have three things inside the egg that these people need to explain how the mechanics of this work. Not in any detail, but just enough to explain how they can possibly believe that in the one thing happening there is a one power that is not A or B, because it's going to choose between A and B. So we have the one thing in the head that does the choosing, and maybe a lot of other things that come up with these choices for this one power to make the choices over. And they'll never get past that. There's no point going in and arguing with them on the details of things or whether angels can fly or not. First, they have to explain to anybody that asks them what these three parts are of the whole. And they won't be able to do it. Simple as that. And until they do, I wouldn't say they can be ignored, but I would certainly very much suggest that it's like the God thing, and it's up to them to explain quite what they're talking about. How you can have three things in one thing and kind of know that one of those three things is the me, the I, that's doing the choosing between the two others. And it can't be explained because it is actually senseless, I think. Has been up to now anyway. Leave it with you. Bye.